Alright folks, I'm back. Here's the Ariens snowblower that I told you I'd do a video on. Found it for a hell of a deal. It's a 2017 model, I think, or a 2016 model. The previous owner ran it without any oil in it and shredded the motor. And I just plopped on a Harbor Freight 6.5 horse 212cc motor I picked up here for $100, and just trying to see if everything fits and lines up, and it does. Looks like everything is going to work just fine. This hasn't been fully bolted in yet, but pulleys line up just nicely. All the mounting bolts fit, but the only thing is, this was a really nice snowblower. It had the headlight kit and electric start. And I'm going to transfer those over to this motor. Here is the old Ariens motor, and pretty much what I found out is that this Ariens motor is a Honda GX200 series clone. You can see right through the block there where previous owner ran it without any oil, and the crankshaft kind of slung the connecting rod around and took a sizable chunk out of the block there. Otherwise, the motor's good. Carburetor's fine except for the old gas that was sitting in, as you can see there. But I'm grabbing the generator. Here's the starter. I'm not going to be able to reuse this just because it doesn't fit with the way that this casting of the Honda GX200 series blocks were casted. I will be getting a eBay starter and going that route, but as for now I can't reuse the Ariens starter. Probably gonna throw it up on eBay or something like that. This valve cover does fit though, so that is going to be swapped over, just because why not. I'm not going to swap over the muffler cover. It's the same thing as already there. It does make a nice screw caddy though, so I'll probably keep it around. Generators are going there. Flywheel, this cup, and the recoil from the Ariens I'm going to use just because of the logos that are on it, but it is the exact same unit. Generators are going there. I might use the Ariens ignition coil just because this part's shielded, and the Harbor Freight one is not. But I don't know, I'll see. I'm going to also grab this wiring harness out of here. I will probably strip this down, grab the head, the muffler, keep that for future use. Same with the fuel tank there. This cover I am going to swap on to the Harbor Freight motor just because it has a dipstick tube there. So that'd be a nice little addition since the Harbor Freight motor doesn't have those dipstick tubes. So swap those over. Other than that, this one's just going to end up being junk, and I'm going to go ahead and pull this guy apart, and I will show you how to get that generator or stator motor, or the motor stator, installed on this thing so that you can run the light kit. So from everything I've looked up, apparently it should fit, but I guess we'll find out. I'll go ahead and clear the table off, get the new replacement motor up on there, and we'll see what we can do about getting all these parts to fit together, and I'll live happily. Be back in just a bit. Alright guys, so here is the Harbor Freight motor up on the table. Only thing I've done to it so far is took the air cleaner off. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get this guy disassembled, get these parts swapped on, and see how everything works. I'll make sure that I anti-seize all of my pulleys so that they can come back off later. But here is the cover that's on the Harbor Freight motor. Here's the cover that will take its place. As you see, it's literally the exact same cover to a T, except for This one has the molded tube for the dipstick up top. Which, if I knew where that was, I'd show you. But I don't. But I will find it. I will put it in there and you will see the finished product with it there. But other than that, I just took this thing straight out of the box. I'm going to go ahead and get started swapping this cover over. I'll obviously clean it up with some brake clean. I'll pull off the front cover of the Predator motor, get the flywheel from the Ariens swapped over, because I will end up putting a starter motor from eBay, because this engine does have a electric start kit out there. I will just get that motor, pop that in, and I think I'm going to do a SLA battery on the mower, and I just literally have a electric start mower, kind of like a lawn tractor, or how some of the newer lawnmowers are now. I think there's a couple of snowblowers out there as well like that, but yeah, why not convert this one to do the same exact thing? But yeah, I'll take you guys along with this fun little project of mine here. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pull that back cover off, get that Ariens engine back plate on, and see how everything fits. Should fit just fine from everything I've seen so far, so I'll let you guys know what I discover. Alright guys, just a quick update here. So, as you see, here is the Harbor Freight engine cover, and here's the one from the Ariens, and they're pretty much word for word copy of each other. Bearing size is the same. The dipsticks, they swap between both of them, no issues. Same thing with the internals here. Let me grab a flashlight and I can show you inside here better. Alright, so got the flashlight. Yeah, a little bit of oil in there. Looks to be okay quality, feels nice. Got everything off. Gasket's in great shape. I'm just going to end up reusing that. This was never even run from what I can see. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead, swap my covers. I'm going to clean up the old one with some brake clean, obviously, and a razor, but swap my covers, keep the old one, obviously. But yeah, put this back together and move on to the next part of my project. Alright guys, I'm back. So, a little bit of test fitting, a little bit of hammering, and yeah, I got some news for you. So, this doesn't fit on there exactly because this fuel tank is bigger than the Ariens fuel tank. So, I did a little bit of reconfiguration here. Just a soft mallet, and I just kind of gave it the beans here with this up against the fuel tank. This is a double wall, so I'm not going to puncture the fuel tank because this is part of a understructure where the bolts, the through bolts go through, as well as there's a cutout for the governor that's underneath there as well. So you're not going to hurt anything by putting a nice sized dent in here or cause a leak or anything like that, but it's not going to look the prettiest. I'm probably going to hit it with a little bit of spray paint afterwards. I did try to swap the Ariens fuel tank on here, but it is a smaller capacity is the first thing, as well as it uses these side mount bolts, and they don't line up exactly because it's a slightly different casting of the block. So the side bolt mounts don't line up exact, as well as it doesn't come all the way over for the mount on the bottom to go through the tank either. So I would just have these two side ones. I wasn't really comfortable with that, so I'm going to just reconfigure this Harbor Freight one. So no big deal there. Other than that, this does fit on there just fine. Another thing I found was that you cannot use the dowel guide pins that are in here and over here. They just don't fit. So I pulled them out. I'm going to toss them away, and I'm just going to run without them. Really what they're there for is to help with lining everything up, but I don't think there's going to be any real issues with anything. Everything is brand new, nothing's loose. Just going to put it together and hope for the best. But yeah, I'm going to put this cover on, put this back together, lay back so we can pull the front off of this thing, and put the generator in, and yeah, hopefully everything works nice when we start her up. So back in just a bit. Alright, there we go, folks. Got the Ariens cover on here. No gaps or anything like that. Bolts fit through just fine. I got my oil dipstick tube put in here so I can check my oil. And I also left the Harbor Freight oil dipstick in there as well, so I can definitely verify that it's at least the level that the manufacturer recommends, or the third-party manufacturer, I guess, since they're all sharing the same casting of a Honda motor. But yeah, so that's in there as well. This is actually, I think, what the previous owner didn't tighten, and it just leaked all the oil out when he ran it for the, I think, the second season after owning it for 2 years, and just ruined the machine. So yeah, he didn't make sure that was tight, and came back to bite him in the ass. Other than that, this fits perfect. I'm going to go ahead and get started on the front here. Pull the recoil off, pull the cover off, get that all, get the flywheel pulled out, and get the new flywheel put in, the generator swapped in, get the wiring moved around, and kind of wrap everything up. And I'll be back in just a bit. Alright guys, so got the Harbor Freight flywheel off. Here's the fan, here's the flywheel. You can see no teeth, as well as no magnets for the stator to work. There's the magnets for the stator, teeth for the starter. Use the same exact key that Harbor Freight had installed in here. Looks just fine. The one that actually came out of here has some pretty good denting in it, and yeah, it got kind of chewed up, so I'm not going to use this one. I am going to use the other one, but yeah, I'm just going to drop this guy on here. Has standoffs, they all fit. I'm going to put this in here like so, and then I will be able to route the cable through just the same way that the factory has it routed. Back here, I'll take some time, route it, come back, and I'll show you guys how this all worked out. But yeah, the factory has this routed back here, like through there, through this, out that way. That's what I'm going to do. Bolt this all together. Back in just a bit, and show you what I've done. We'll make sure everything fits, and tie this back up and throw it on the blower. Alright, back in just a bit. Alright folks, so got the generator stator in there. That's all good to go. Routed the cord, found my flashlight here. Routed the cord back through the vents, zip tied it where it was, zip tied in the factory. Also, the ignition coil, that's run through there as well. All the wires come out over here. I was contemplating using the Ariens ignition coil, but it's decided against it. It's just more work to pull out the carburetor and everything. Everything is already in there. It works, it fits. I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to keep the other one as a spare just in case. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and throw my the Ariens flywheel, the fan from the Ariens flywheel, because fan from the Harbor Freight one is different. Triangle, diamond. Otherwise, it's exactly the same thing. But yeah, I'm going to throw that back together. I did end up damaging the low oil cutoff switch, so I'll have to replace one of those later on down the road. Probably do that when I do springtime maintenance, just through a sensor, or I might be able to even on the inside. I forget if it has some extra wire lead in there, but I might be able to just do that as well too. We'll see what happens. That's the least of my concerns at this point. But yeah, I'll go ahead and zip this guy back together. And I know you guys are dying to see if this runs and if the light kit works and everything like that, as well as I am as well. So I'll go ahead and put this back together and get this on the machine, and we can give it a try. Alright, just one more quick thing. I dropped a flywheel on here, and almost forgot to mention this to you guys, but before you put the flywheel on, you need to make sure this tin is attached, because it is blocked by the flywheel. Either the one with the ring gear for the starter or the factory one. With the factory one, you can get in there because you can just slide the quarter ratchet right through there, but on the one with the ring gear, it blocks it. So you have to do that, get that all tightened, put in before you drop the flywheel on. Otherwise, you'll have to take everything back off again, and that's kind of a pain in the butt. But just wanted to save you guys a headache. Make sure this piece is back in before you get everything all squared away. Otherwise, yeah, I'll be right back. Alright guys, last couple things are done. Recoil's back on, cover's back on. I retained the on and off switch. That's all wired back in here. Only thing that's missing is the oil level sensor. So I'm not going to be using that this time, but I obviously know how to check my oil before I use the machine, so I don't think I'll have to worry about that. Other thing I did was I swapped on the Ariens valve cover. I think it just looks nicer. It's a direct fit. Nothing was different. Even the size of the hole on the side for the breather is the exact same thing. So that swapped over just fine. The gaskets showed no signs of use, so that was reused. I did buy another gasket kit. Should be here in the next week or two from eBay, but this will work just fine. It's got that just in case I have any leaks. I don't anticipate any leaks. Get that put back in. But yeah, this bad boy is ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and get the snowblower body prepped, get this back on it, get everything hooked up, and I'll give it a start and let you guys know how it goes. Alright, be back in just a bit. Alright folks. So, got it put back all together. And here she is. Harbor Freight. Yeah, did good on this one. Fits perfect. Everything lines up. Got oil in her now. So yeah, also dumped some gas in. Give it first pull and see what we get here. Let's see. Alright, so forgot this wasn't a primed engine. Gotta set the choke to start. I also forgot to turn on the fuel. We didn't see this down here. That's pretty nice. It's an actual fuel shutoff right there. Then I move this over to Rabbit, or fast for engine speed. Well, let's give it another shot. There it goes. Lights working. Well, folks, there you have it. It lives. I ran it for about 15-20 minutes. Brought it back in, pulled the wheel off, pulled the drain plug. Just one of them, unlike the previous owner did. But I pulled one of them, started the drain of the oil. There's quite a bit of metallic goodness in there, so probably going to run this a couple times, drain it a couple times, just work all the crap through the Chinese engine here, and call it good. That slapping that you heard when this was first started up, coming from the belt drive housing here, was the auger drive belt. It was actually slapping against the inside of the cover because I forgot to put a guard back in. So I got that put back in, let it run, no more slapping, tested all the functions, reverse, all I think 6 or 7 forward speeds work, the one reverse speed works, little shoot deal still goes up and down like it's supposed to with the joystick. It does stick a bit, so I'm probably going to end up replacing this cable, but otherwise, yeah, everything on this thing is working perfectly. As you saw, the lights working as well. The only thing that's missing from the factory version of this same exact machine is the electric start. And like I said, I'm going to go ahead and add that to this machine with a eBay starter motor. It's associated components and a SLA battery. So then I'll literally have a key up top on my dash here. I can go ahead and start it right from there. I'm also thinking about throwing a 24-inch LED light bar across the front for plowing or for snow blowing in the wintertime. Make things a lot nicer. That headlights that's on there is bright, but it's not the greatest. So thinking I'm going to throw a light bar on the front, wire it up, make sure everything is nice and fused, and call it good. But as for right now, everything is working, and I'm going to end the video here. I will probably be back with the next one when I get the starter for this bad boy and get that installed, and we'll go from there. But until next time, please feel free to like and subscribe to my videos. I'll try to keep them as updated as possible as I get new little projects to work on and things here and there.